Let's talk to the director of the European Leadership Network and former permanent representative of the UK to NATO, Sir Adam Thomson. Good afternoon to you, Sir Adam. I mean, where does this leave us as an international community moving forward? Can we do anything other than just sit back and watch now?
Very little can be done except sitting back and watching for the short term, but the messages that have been going to the Taliban to think hard about their behavior if they want an international community to remain in Kabul, if they want widespread recognition by the international community, are still messages worth passing. Beyond that, it looks like there is no American will to do much more than get their own people out, and that is where the action lies at the moment.
I mean, in terms of American will, I mean, that's what we're all reliant on, isn't it? I mean, NATO itself doesn't seem to have anything up its sleeve without America to lead the way.
I'm afraid that has been true throughout the ISAF and Resolute Support missions. It's been a very much American-led, American-dominated operation. But we do need to recognize this has been explicitly and formally a NATO operation, and it doesn't look a very united NATO today, I'm sorry to say. It seems to be pretty much a collection of national efforts to get nationals and associated Afghans out of the country, not a NATO collection, not a NATO operation, and certainly not a Resolute Support mission.
Talking to a guest earlier on who was saying he thought part of the problem here was that there was a lack of political will, and in essence, the sort of buck was passed to the military of various countries. I mean, he was talking particularly the United States and the UK. And without that will, that political will, nothing could have been achieved on a permanent basis. Would you concur?
Yeah, I would concur with that. I think that it's always in Afghanistan, and indeed in many other peacekeeping operations, a question of the politics and not the military operation in the end. It's been clear for well over a decade, 15 years, that there is no solution in Afghanistan that is purely military. It has always been clear that there would need to be some political accommodation with the Taliban. The failure here has been a long time in the making, but has, I think, accelerated very considerably with the peace deal negotiated under President Trump, cutting out the Afghan government of President Ghani, the Americans dealing directly with the Taliban and with very little NATO involvement. I think that put the skids under the authority of the outgoing Afghan government, and then to signal that Washington has no further political will to back its allies in Afghanistan, really, I think, in Afghan conditions, created the very fertile soil for a Taliban rapid takeover. It's a misreading of Afghanistan, I think, that is evident in the CIA judgments of only a week ago or so, that the country would not fall in under about 90 days. So much to learn here, I think. And one of the most important things that the West collectively can be doing, that NATO specifically and that the United States and the UK can be doing, is learning some hard lessons.
So, Adam, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there's people